Okay, so here's my original ABS slash DSC pump, and this pump was working, and my new replacement is not working. Everything, the solenoids and everything are actuating, but the pump motor itself, which is this black circle thing here on the outside, is not kicking on. So I went ahead and plugged this back into the harness just to double check I don't have any wiring issue on the car. As soon as I plug this one in and initiate a bleed cycle, this pump kicks right in. Do the same thing, plug it into my new one. Solenoids click, but the motor does not turn. So I'm going to attempt replacing this pump. It's not a part that's meant to be replaced. You can see here how they're staked on. Pump was put on and the machine pressed that little tab in over. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to attempt to, if I can get it to focus. I'm going to attempt to smash that back to where I can get this pump off and swap it and see if that's going to work. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this off. Alright, so here we got it off. You can see here that this original unit was actually leaking fluid out, possibly the cause of the air in my that I was getting into my system. Here we can see the motor simply gets set on there. And we can see how this shaft, if you look at it carefully, is actually not centered. When it rotates, it actually moves up and kind of in an oval shape, and that's what causes the pumping action. Kind of see there how it's off center. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pop the bad motor off my new unit, and hopefully they'll give me a refund. Been working on them the last couple of days and finally ran out of patience. I'm going to go try swapping them, and hopefully we'll get a working ABS pump. So hopefully I can get it off the car. I really don't want to remove the unit off the car since I have all the brakes bled and everything. I'm going to try to do it with the unit on the car, all the brake lines connected, so hopefully it'll work. Okay, so here's the unit I replaced. This is my new replacement one that I got from a parts vendor that I'm not going to name at this point. Hopefully they'll take care of me. And here is my old working motor. I'm going to try to swap it onto this pump block, and hopefully it'll fix my issues. So let's get started. Wish me luck. Okay, so after a little bit of work, I was able to get the pump motor off my pump here. I'm going to see if you can, if you look in there, you can see the two little plungers coming into the bore. There's one on this side and one right there. Those are the two little pistons that actually pump the fluid. Get you out here. This little insert here is what rides around in there and moves around back and forth, and is what actuates those little plungers. So got to get this back in, and then here's my two motors. Here's the one you can see that came off my newer pump that I just got. That one is completely dry, whereas my old pump has brake fluid on it. So I'm guessing that is where I was getting my air into my system. It must have been coming through the pump block into here. So that's why that was acting the way it was, I'm guessing. And on this one, the motor's bad. I'm probably going to take them to the bench and test both of them, put 12 volts to them and see if both of them, or if this one is dead for sure, before I actually swap them. So, alright, so I got my power probe out here. You can see part number here is from my original pump, just this block here. I'm going to give it some power and see if it starts. Oh yeah. So that one's working. Try this new one here. See, it shorts out my power probe. So yeah, that motor's completely garbage. Just totally shorts out my power probe versus when we come over here on my old pump. Kicks right on. So that's our issue. So yeah, that really sucks when you buy parts that you think or that are advertised as being tested and ready to go, and you get this kind of thing. But I'm gonna try to put this pump on, and hopefully I'll be able to get the coating finished, and we'll have working ABS and DSC. Okay, so I got my old pump on the new used unit. So now I'm ready to go ahead and see if it activates and if it takes the calibration. So you can see I was able to kind of get it pressed back on. It's obviously not as nice as it was from the factory, but I'm confident that it's going to stay on. So hopefully this will be what it takes. And I can finally have a working ABS. I'm so ready for this. And by the way, it is really hot out here. So I'm gonna head grab my laptop and see if it takes calibration. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do the DSC calibration again. Hopefully you can see here, it's like 100 degrees here in the car. But I'm too excited to try to push it off to the zenith, so I'm gonna do it now. So I'm gonna hit yes and continue. So it'll automatically go through the steps. Make sure you don't press the brake pedal. First step was successful. Oh yeah, hear that thing run? Never ran before. So we definitely got that part of the issue fixed. See if it finishes the progress, or the program now. So that part was successful. We never got this far before. And warning us to stay off the brake pedal. Another part of it was successful. Oh yeah, that's what I've been waiting for. Wow, so I'm so excited right now. I was able to get that unit fixed. I was thinking I'm gonna have to pull it all back off, send it back. They didn't have another one. They were gonna said they would give me my money back, but then I'd have to find another one. And while I'm doing all that, I would either have to put my old faulty unit back on or tear the car down and possibly have the car down for weeks, unless I just simply went and spent the big money for a brand new unit, which I did not want to do. So right now I'm extremely happy. I'm going to go through, delete all the codes, which I don't even think we need to, because if we look here, we have no ABS codes for pretty much the first time since I've owned the car. Actually, in the beginning there was no ABS codes. My brakes would just go spongy, but after messing around with it, bleeding it a couple of times, I finally did start getting ABS codes and spongy brakes and everything like that. So finally, after replacing the unit, tearing it back apart, replacing the motor, which technically we aren't supposed to be able to do, which we were able to do, I've got the unit coded, I've got it adjusted, and we don't have an ABS light. I'm gonna go throw it all back together and probably do another bleed, since I wasn't able to run the motor to do the computer bleeding and to vibrate the unit, get all the air out. I think I can get the brakes even better. At this point I just simply did the pressure bleed. So I might video that for you again, just how to go through it on ISTA here to do the brake bleeding. So for now, thanks for watching. As always, please subscribe and we'll see you next video.